Welcome back, my friends, to the operational art of War 4. And surprisingly enough, guys, situation is not critical. We are stemming the tide of the Viet Minh. It's taking a while, but it's happening. And one thing I want to do for sure is knock out any of these guys that are in between our lines, basically any guys that have broken the wire and are coming through. I'm going to go ahead and provide as much support as I can to wipe out that target. I'm not going to provide air support because I actually want to provide that to a different unit, and I think you guys can guess which unit that is. It's going to be this group right here. I'm not sure if they can break through, but we're going to try. Let's go ahead and plan an attack. As you can see, a massive amount of units ready to go, guys. We are trying to wipe out that 613. It's a large group of Viet Minh troops, as you guys can see quite clearly. So I want to go ahead and send them in, and I'm definitely going to send in the tactical bomber support. And even now, our chances of winning are very poor. They're very well dug in here. The enemy knows this terrain so well. Now over here, our encirclement technique, it worked before, and we're trying to make it work again. So I'm going to be encircling this unit right here. We've got plenty of units to attack them, including just regular line infantry and, of course, paratroopers. So I'm going to be bringing in everybody, as well as some armored cars. I'm feeling like we might be actually about to break the Viet Minh stranglehold, I should say. I think we've been doing pretty damn well, to be honest with you. So we just have to keep this up. And also, we've got to eventually focus on these guys coming in from the east. This is a location we haven't paid too much attention to. But what I'm going to do in the meantime is I'm going to target any of the guys that have gotten by with our existing units. And unfortunately, these Ligne de Latre units, they're pretty standard, not the best training in the world. But hey, they'll do what needs to be done. I'm also going to try and get over there to that HQ unit, but it doesn't look like we can make it to Song Tay this turn. One thing I might do is group move some of these guys over and actually assist these guys in this attack if I'm able to. I think some of them might not be able to attack because they actually moved quite a distance. Yeah, unfortunately, they're not going to be able to join us. That's good enough for now. Now here, oh, we can absolutely do something here, guys. I see an enemy HQ. We're going to group move everybody forward. Attack. Beautiful. We've got him retreating. This is a good sign. And there's also the enemy artillery here. It looks kind of trapped as well. We're going to hit him too. Now, it doesn't look like the enemy is getting closer to the center of town, but in this case, they are retreating. So this is a great sign. We're going to have to plan an attack here. And actually, we're just joining the standard attack, I believe. We'll go ahead and send in the armored car. Nope, it's actually a separate attack, or considered a separate attack from the one we had before. Boom. Beautiful, guys. We are getting some instant kills here on the enemy. It's a very good sign. Definitely a very good sign. 2, 3, 4. These guys are already joining in on the other attack, so I don't want to mess that one up. And, of course, we'll go down the coast here. The coast is one place where the enemy has been beating us badly. They're just not allowing us to get our vehicles up the coast or any of our infantry reinforcements because they don't want us to. Basically, you know, if we get reinforcements up to the city, it's going to be a lot easier to defend it. We also are having some smaller fights with the Viet Minh over here in the swamp areas. But for the most part, and we mentioned this in the last Let's Play, this place is fairly safe. It's pretty much under our control. All of these irregular brigades are working for us, the militia units. But we are slowly but surely moving down to Cà Mau. This is the Viet Minh strong point of this area. As you can see, it looks like in Gia Rai, this little town here, they do still have some men. We want to approach with caution, my friends. Real caution here. Okay, I think we've pretty much done what we can. Obviously, bringing some infantry down probably helps, but these guys can't go too far. And again, these are swampy areas. You can see there are very few roads in this area, and the roads that exist are quite small, not very well built. In fact, my dad helped to build Highway 1, which came far after this conflict of the French. And there's also this unit here. We've been attacking him most of the time. He keeps retreating into the woods. I like it. It looks like right now he's got that guerrilla unit to help him. And this might not go so well. We'll find out. I'm going to see if I can get my PT boat up. I don't think our PT boat can make it, but our DRG, or CFO Saigon can. Going to be quite a lot of time expanded for just that fight, which is not good, but got to fight at some point, right? And over here, this is where near Hue City, the old imperial capital. This is where they have a tremendous amount of men, and all we can do is fight. We're going to be overrun for sure. I think all we can do is put up a good fight and at least try to make the enemy feel bad about doing this, because they're going to lose a lot of men. We'll also hit this enemy HQ. If I can get the engineers to join, I'll have them join the attack. We might as well try and kill some enemy generals if we're not going to win these fights along the coast. And we're going to have to come up with a plan to break through the coast. I'm not sure there is a plan to break through the coast in this conflict. Most of the drops were made by plane, and this battle shows us why. What about here? Oh yeah, baby. Now, there's no way we can beat this massive 511th Infantry Regiment with these units. All I'm trying to do is sort of stem their flow, get in their way, force them to have to attack us, etc., etc. This 316th Infantry Division is also massive, and so is the 316th up here. It's actually made up of two huge groups, and they are bearing down on the city. All right, end the turn. Hope for the best. Come on, boys. Nice. Good work. Looks like we moved away some units over here to the south of Vinh. HQ is also falling back, and of course, remember, the farther back the HQ is from the units, the less supply those units are going to get. So hopefully this stops the units on the coast from getting too many supplies. I think that artillery position may have held. No, it's going back. Are the engineers going to hold? I think they might. Alright, it actually looks like some of the Viet Minh there are pulling back, maybe trying to reform a line outside of the city. Good work, completely overrunning some of these guys, and as you can see, they're behind our lines, a lot of them, but in a good way. We basically have destroyed the army to such an extent that the few men that retreated are running behind our lines. As you can see, that HQ division is right there. I think we're about to take out a Viet Minh HQ, my friends. Okay, 30% of our turn remains. I'll take it. Let's see how we did here, guys. Some major attacks. These were actually weak attacks. We did pretty well. That's just the standard one. I want to see the one in the center of the city. And this is it, guys. Look at that! Completely crushing almost an entire Viet Minh army, guys. These are huge numbers. These are almost World War I numbers. You have to keep in mind that each squad probably has 16 and 20 men, maybe more. And so we've killed at least a few hundred Viet Minh in that one attack. Let's see how our attackers did. Pretty damn well. Obviously, we lost some sniper squad or some rifle squads to probably sniper fire, things like that. But all of our trucks are doing fine. They did knock out one amphibious APC, but otherwise, I think we did all right. And over here, to the northwest, we obviously had a lot of men die in the attack, but as you can see, once again, in this case, slicing their army in half. So we're going to keep on doing this. I mean, this is the only way we can win, is we've got to slice their army up. It looks like that HQ division absolutely retreated, and I'm going to follow up, of course, with a massive attack on the remaining unit here, which seems to just be an artillery piece and an engineer squad. That's not really much to worry about. Likelihood of success is good. Good. Try to move in as many men as I can and hit this unit. But first, I want to see if we could bring this guy in. And so these are the colonial paratrooper units. These guys that have the red sort of square. And we're also going to bring in our PT boat for this attack, as well as some air support. The bombers have helped us tremendously, and throughout the war they were very helpful to the French, obviously. But during the Battle of Dien Bien Phu, things like that, they started to realize that even the bombers really weren't enough. Not enough to make a big difference. Okay, now over here, this unit is one I worry about big time. I'm going to do everything I can to cut them off and destroy them. But we just don't have many units in this sector. Yeah, that's not going to work out well. I'm not even going to start attacking there. We will, however, continue to attack over here if we can, but it looks like, nope, that's a continued combat. What about here? Send in some paratroopers and some armored cars to hit that left flank of theirs. They also have some guerrilla units in there, and yes, the chances are good, and now the success is excellent. And I want it to be excellent because I want to wipe these guys out completely. Not just, you know, get them to retreat again, but actually finish them off. Also, we'll get these guys that are behind our lines. They're trapped behind our lines, and that's good news for us. I think over here we could probably get a pretty good attack too. So guys, if you haven't seen the first parts of this series, you should absolutely click the playlist down below and go check them out. So much has happened, and if you see like what the enemy had initially, you'll see we've actually done a lot in this particular Let's Play. So I'm definitely going to bring in bombers for this mission. I consider this sort of a spec ops mission of sorts. We can't really bring in any troops. Maybe we can, but I want to wipe out that enemy HQ division. Obviously, if the enemy doesn't have the use of their HQ, we have a big chance of being able to knock out the rest of their units and take back Hue. Hue, of course, like I said, the imperial capital. It's not the capital now, but it is a very important city to the Vietnamese people. That's right, attack. Nice. Just a bunch of dead Viet Minh in the swamps now. I love it. And let's keep on moving southwards. Oh, that's right. We have to hit this area, Jai Rai, so we are going to wait for reinforcements. And I shall end the turn. Here we go. Fingers crossed. That attack will go fine, and eventually we'll be able to pull these guys back into the city and get back to our original locations. Of course, the task of actually going around and knocking out the Viet Minh hiding locations in the mountains, that's going to be a little more work, I think. I don't think that's going to be as simple. So if we can finish this, that's one impossible task we've completed. Then we can focus on maybe moving in to get Long Son, Yen Bei, Son La, all of these tiny villages where the enemy has clearly been recruiting a lot of men. But to do that, we're going to have to leave the safety of the city. All right, no rounds left. I believe that's going to be the enemy turn, but you can see there's some excellent attacks. Just look at that. The entire unit being destroyed, of course. Round 2 went pretty well as well here. I mean, just incredibly well done here by our guys. We're definitely weakening the Viet Minh considerably. They still have those huge armies, though, and now it's going to be the Viet Minh turn. Every single other turn, they push us back no matter what happens. I'm guessing turn 9 will be no different, but let's wait and see. Oh, man, they're pushing in the south. They pushed our paratroopers back. And my God, we got guerrilla units. Remember, I thought the south was totally safe, but now we've got enemy guerrilla units that have popped up out of nowhere. I think they're very much going to want to do us harm. And see, the guerrilla units here are attacking our units that were hitting their HQ. I mean, I knew the guys along the coast were pretty much, screwed anyway, for lack of a better word, but I was kind of hoping they'd be able to keep chasing that HQ division. Now in the south here, if they can no longer launch major attacks, that's a big victory for us. That means they've lost their potential to attack in the south, and we can move our units there to support the north. But you see these huge armies that the Viet Minh has? This is the concern. Okay, they're hitting those units that just landed at Da Nang, I believe. Yeah, that is Da Nang. That's what eventually became the American Air Base, the main American Air Base in Vietnam. But as you can see, in this particular French Indochina War, it's absolutely under control by the Viet Minh forces. And that's where a lot of our troops actually were dropped off from France en route to Vietnam. So a lot of those fresh units are going to be knocked out very quickly early in the war. And it's not going to look good in the French newspapers at all. Okay, guys, hey, I mean, there's no pretty way to say it. It was rough, but actually, if you look at the losses, they were pretty minimal. Compared even to our other turns, we didn't lose a lot of guys, honestly, with their attacks. There is one area there I see with a land attack where the enemy completely overwhelmed us, but for the most part, we held our position. They did push us back in some areas despite not doing a lot of damage, But that just means that right now I've got my men on minimize losses, and I am trying to minimize our guys' losses as best as possible. The last thing we need are a bunch of our guys getting shot in an attack just to take out a few Viet Minh divisions. We need to survive. The enemy just needs to keep on producing men. Okay, it's our turn. Let's see if we have any news items. I don't think so. But there should be a news item about Hue, because that's a big deal. Like, they should have, like, you know, Viet Minh forces, you know, out of Hue or pile up in Hue, something like that. So we do have reinforcements. That's good. Not just replacements, but actual reinforcements. But again, those could have been the units that just got hit in Hue. We really don't know. Theater operations. Okay. Or theater options, excuse me. This file is starting to garner a lot of information because you can see the loading time has been weird. There we go. Okay. Still a draw if we ended the battle or the war right now. Of course, we're not going to do that. And our force proficiency rating being 60%, I can't tell you how bad that is. When you're playing as the Germans in World War II, your force proficiency rating is 100%. Even on the Eastern Front, I think it drops to maybe 90%, which is amazing. So Viet Minh activity in Da Nang, and that's that large army we just saw pop up, and a bunch of other areas that have been reduced to ruins either by us or by the Viet Cong. Although, as you can see, we have reached March 17th, 1951, and I believe the French conflict went until 1955, if I'm not mistaken. We've got a lot of work left to do. If we think we've even come close to beating the enemy yet, we're insane. We haven't. However, if we're looking at the city here, it's looking a lot safer, isn't it, boys and girls? Before, we had a massive hordes on the north and the south, and we've certainly greatly diminished that. I would guess we have caused tens to hundreds of thousands of casualties on the enemy side already. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this episode. I love this series, and that's why I keep it going, so make sure to support it by liking, subscribing, hitting that bell, and also checking out the playlist. If you haven't seen the other videos, you definitely should. Take care, guys. I'll see you on